Hey there, it's Andrew Raitt. I'm here in downtown LA, above our offices in the Arts District. Actually going to talk about three things today regarding a project that we finished up in Echo Park. We call it Alvarado. It was a very successful project, but three of the main things that we kind of learned a lot, and I'd like to kind of share with everybody else here, is first of all, the fact that it's hard to find a good deal, especially right now with the current lack of inventory that's in the market in Southern California. The second thing we're going to talk about is doing your diligence. It's a really critical part, and actually sometimes it even helps make a deal better when you really do your diligence and you expose everything that's really happening with a property or a project itself. And the third thing I'm talking about is working with small spaces and being creative with it. So initially with the project, we were in a situation where there was very little in the inventory in the market. Echo Park was just a really challenging area because everybody was bidding up the prices like crazy. So it really compressed the margin on your ability to buy something low and to sell it high. So, but I didn't stop. I kept calling agents, kept looking for deals, and finally came across a really small, tiny house. Hey there, this is Andrew Raitt. I'm actually here at a property that we just opened escrow on in a beautiful area. It's got its challenges though. It's a smaller lot, less than 4,000 square feet, and it's a smaller house. But it's a cute craftsman with a lot of character. It had noise from the highway, and it didn't look like a good property, and it was like an old beat up craftsman, but it had some potential. It had some weird upgrades. It definitely had some illegal things that they had done to it, but it had opportunity. So we got into it, and it was almost the right price. It wasn't quite there, but when we started our diligence on the property, we went down to the city, we would go down to the assessor's office, started pulling all the information, realized there was a number of illegal issues regarding our property that we had to fix. That actually helped us significantly. We did our full inspection report and identified all the issues related to the property and brought that back to the bank from a professional inspector, okay? And then we also had an opinion from our architect with regards to the details of what needed to be changed in the property to make it something that's sellable. So we brought that to the bank's attention. We asked for a request for repairs. They obviously are going to say no, so we told them a value that we wanted, and really at the end of the day we wanted to get a discount because of the challenges that existed. But we wouldn't have found out those challenges if we hadn't have done our homework, if we hadn't have gone through those steps that were required. So that was really important. Now, in finding a deal, it actually helped us because we found something that was just on the edge. It was almost a good deal, but it didn't quite make it. So through the diligence, we were able to get a discount, and then now the economics in this project just made a lot of sense. We don't always go into these projects saying we're going to need a discount, but in this particular case, it made sense. And while we're in the construction process, the market got better, and so we benefited from that significantly. Now, one of the challenges that we had with this project was that we were working with 700 square feet. The lot was a decent sized lot considering how small the house was. It was almost about 4,000 square feet. It had a pretty view. It had a peekaboo view of downtown LA with this gorgeous buildings. And in addition to that, it had opportunity to kind of make a kick-ass backyard. So you'll see in this video what the current layout of the property is, and then what we changed the property to. So we took it from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath that had an illegal bath, and we converted basically 1 room that was this dining room into actually a master bedroom. We came into the living room, which was kind of scary for a lot of people because thought, oh wow, we're gonna have such a small living room, people aren't gonna enjoy it. Well, guess what? People want a kick-ass master and they want their own bathroom in the master. In addition to that, we created a deck. So when you're working with small spaces, you have to overcompensate for how small they are. You have to be able to add features that are important to people and how they live in this environment. In Echo Park, people want to be able to have a guest bathroom. They also want a cool deck to chill out on. They want to be able to have a barbecue area, and they want to be able to utilize all the views. So we were able to move the retaining wall to a position that made a lot of sense, had a nicer backyard in the back. You know, we staged it with some really cool hammock and, you know, made people feel like they can come here and just live pretty much outside. So we kind of extended the living room to the outside, create a nice kitchen. In addition, we made sure we had all the other niceties like central air and heat, and then nice landscaping throughout. And what's kind of a cool feature is we had a garage, but underneath the garage we had this nice storage space that we kind of tricked out, made it a little more beautiful, and that's actually kind of like a studio. And I'm here to show you what you can do with kind of an awkward, unusual space. We have something here that's supposedly supposed to be a garage, but it doesn't appear at all like it has the right kind of support to actually handle a car. But what could it be? What could you use this space for? Fortunately, we're in the Silver Lake area, and there's a lot of artists there that would love to rent a studio like this. So why not turn it into that? Turn it into a beautiful opportunity where you open up where there's more light, you create, you know, the wall space, and you get it to a point that it looks very comfortable. So it's perfect for the kind of clientele that we're going to sell to in Echo Park, the creative type, somebody who wanted lifestyle, and it turned out really well with such a small little space. And sometimes it feels like it'd be scary, but just look who your buyer is and what they're looking for, and then you'll find out what you need to build. In creating additional enhancements outside, when you're looking at building out, let's say, a deck or other considerations, different cities have different ordinances, but in the city of Los Angeles, when you're working on hillsides, there's sometimes grading issues. There's sometimes issues regarding how you're going to be able to create additional structures on top of the existing earth or dirt or structures that currently existed. In this particular project, we had to consult with the city ahead of time and say, listen, we want to build a deck here. So we brought the inspector out ahead of time and we said we want to build a deck and just really make this backyard look beautiful. And so we were afraid that they were going to ask us for a tremendous amount of engineering, SOAS reports, which could add months and months to the project. So when you're doing your diligence and you have an end in mind on what you want to build, do your homework with the cities up front to understand what the process is. How long is it going to take you? And that'll impact how long your project's going to be and how long it's going to take you to actually be able to sell it. In this particular case, we're not going to go through soils engineering. We're either going to build a deck or we're not going to build a deck. And what happened, we brought the inspector out, we showed him what we wanted to do, and he said, listen, you can build this deck, but just build it 6 inches lower than where you want to build it, and I'll give you a waiver on your grading pre-inspection. We were like, go, let's do it. And we did it, and it came out beautifully.